Hey guys, I'm here at the O2 Academy in Birmingham with the brilliant Mr. Frankie Ballard.
Oh, thank you for calling me brilliant. Thank you. It made me
You are,
feel
mate.
good.
You are.
We're off to a good start.
Yeah, welcome to Birmingham again.
Thank you. It's good to be back. The weather was beautiful today. A little warm
was.
front felt like came in. So maybe we'll be lucky and have a great show.
Yeah. You enjoying the UK tour so far?
Yeah, I really love it here. I like the weather. I like the cool weather, so I can wear a leather jacket around. No, everybody's been really sweet to us. The fans have been really loyal. It's our second time here, and so we're seeing what came of our first trip, and good so far.
Yeah. Do you get a chance to explore the UK much when you come over here, or is it pure work from the moment you get off the plane?
It's a lot of work. We're doing shows almost every day, but we had a day off in Leeds yesterday, so we explored a little bit. Every chance we get to sneak off, but we're busy for sure.
You came over for Country to Country back in March.
Yeah.
So were you quite surprised at the size of that event? Because it's a huge festival, isn't it?
Yeah, I was blown away. It rivals all the big festivals in the U.S. for size. Absolutely. The fans were amazing. I was blown away at how much love for country music I found.
Yeah, they certainly embraced you, didn't they, the fans? It was a really good reception.
Amazing.
Now, here in the UK, most of us probably heard about you first when Hell of a Life came out, but I know that wasn't the start of the Frankie Ballard story. So tell us about where it all began.
Well, I grew up in a place called Battle Creek, Michigan, which is a small blue-collar town, cold place, gets a lot of snow. And I always played, but it was for my friends and for my family growing up at Thanksgiving or Christmas. I get out the old guitars and do my best Elvis, with my dad, but nothing professional until I got into college and started writing some songs. And I guess it's when you start writing songs that things start to happen, because you want somebody to hear them and tell you if they're any good as soon as you're done writing it. So I started doing gigs, coffee houses around, blues jams, blues gigs, just getting my feet wet, And that was in Kalamazoo, Michigan about 12 years ago. And just been trying to take step by step and grow ever since, Never looked back, though.
And then you released your first album, which produced a couple of top 40 hits. And then after that, you changed the record label. So what led you towards Warner Records?
Well, honestly, it wasn't really a record label change. They closed Reprise, so I just kind of got shuffled over it under the same kind of thing. But they gave me a real chance to kind of go off and do something with a new producer, Marshall Altman. And so we kind of hunkered down and came up with the Sunshine and Whiskey album. And that's when we had Hell of a Life and Sunshine and Whiskey, of course, and really things got started.
In Nashville, you're surrounded by so many talented songwriters. So with songs like Sunshine and Whiskey and Young and Crazy, is it quite difficult to get those songs? Do you have to really go and chase them, or do you have a lot of people coming to you specifically?
That's a good question, because it's not black and white, Certain artists are going to get great songs before other artists, So there's a bit of a game there between the publishing companies and trying to make sure, well, hey, I heard this song, and, well, yeah, but Blake Shelton likes it too. And I'm like, well, please, There is definitely a certain amount of that competition, but at the same time, songwriters are anxious to get their songs cut. So if you can get in the studio and get them cut, they can usually be yours.
Yeah. And tell us about the new album, El Rio, because it's one of my favourite albums of the year.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely love it.
Thank you.
So you went to Texas to record that, didn't you? So what's the thinking behind that?
Well, I knew we needed to go to the next level and continue to grow and progress and refine my sound. And it was going to be hard for me to do that in Nashville, just because I get distracted easily and people are stopping by a lot and seeing if you're cutting any hits. And Marshall was into the idea. I found this place down in the Mexican border, El Paso, as you said, and a beautiful studio where you could go almost retreat style and hunker down, stay focused on just making the music, and that's what we did. Because I just felt like the fans deserve the best I can do, and I can't provide my best unless I'm in the right scenario, So just putting ourselves in a situation to succeed.
Yeah. Did you try and go in a different musical direction with this new album, do you think?
Yeah, and that's another thing. It was a simpler instrumentation, more like what you see live, bass drums, guitars, keyboards. So we've kind of minimalized things and kept it also just as a band, a live tracking kind of situation where you're not cutting things up and punching in and punching out, but we were trying to get things as live takes because I felt like there was an energy in that needed to be provided, more like what we do live.
And tell us about the new single Cigarette, because I had the pleasure of talking to Kip Moore a few months back, and he told me it was quite difficult for him to give that one away. So why did you feel that was a great song for you?
I'm bummed that he's taken that position on it because that song was dusty and sitting around and nothing was happening to it. And I loved it the first time I heard it. I heard Chris Stapleton's demo of it actually and fell in love with it. I didn't even realize Kip was a writer on it until later, but that was a song that we were all very excited about when we hit the studio floor because we felt like it was an opportunity. And now that it's done, I think it's a great example of what the new sound is and where we're headed sonically. So I'm proud of that, and it's just a sexy number. So I'm glad people are digging it, and it's certainly fun to play live.
I was going to ask you about the long-term plan and where you see yourself taking the music, whether it's going to be more country-based or slightly more rock-based, like you did on the last album.
Well, my influences truly are old American country and old American blues and rock and roll, which has a lot of, tree branches that go into other things. But those are really my primary influences. And I think the best an artist can be is when they're really being honest to what those influences are. I'd say it's a heartland rock and roll direction, whatever that means, Guys like Bob Seger and John Mellencamp were big heroes of mine. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I have all those genuine influences, and really it then comes down to what the songs are. So that's really the X factor. I haven't started writing yet for a new project or really listening to outside songs. So once those songs start to come together, I think I'll have a better idea of, what it's going to sound like.
And just finally, when can we expect you back in the UK? Is this something you want to do regularly? No?
Absolutely. I love it here. It's always been a dream of mine to be able to come over here and play. And so, we're really trying to make it a habit. Hopefully in the spring, maybe around C2C, maybe even before C2C. So it won't be long. You won't have to wait long.
Great stuff. We love having you. And good luck for the rest of the UK tour.
Thank you. I'll take all the luck I can get.
And hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Signing out, Frankie Ballard.